Good morning. It's Becky and Jim in Beaverton, Oregon, and together we are With It Retirees. Well, this is the third part of our aquarium series, or third we're doing about aquariums. In the first series we did 3 videos back. I talked about that I like 20-gallon aquariums, and I showed the way I like to set them up as far as wear and stuff like that. In the second video, I talked about that I like to have all my plants in pots, and I showed how to plant in a pot. So you might want to look at both of those. Then in this video, we're going to talk about filtration and circulation of water, and why we might want to do it, and some choices. So let's start with why you want to do it. Everything in here is full of bacteria in the water everywhere, and the good bacteria is taking waste from the fish and turning it into things we can use, like nitrogen. So basically there's a lot of biology going on in there, and in your filter there's also biology going on. The filters are designed to contain lots of media that will hold bacteria, good bacteria, that will help you to keep your water clean and everything balanced. The other main reason for circulation is that plants in particular like circulation, and if you're going to have trouble in your plants with like a black algae or something like that, it'll be in areas that don't have circulation. So circulation is good for a planted tank or any tank. So I'm going to start with some types of filtration and circulation that I'm not currently using. And again, it's just that I'm not using it now, and it's my deal, not the best deal. First one would be a foam filter. These are quite inexpensive, and they work real well. You also need, this is only half of what you need. You need a little air pump with a hose, as long as you need to have it, or as big an air pump as you want, that plugs right in there, and then this drops down to the ground, and the air being forced down there, bubbles will come out and it'll suck stuff in. And they are quite efficient for biological filtration. That you get a lot of activity going here, and these will clean up a tank really nice. And they'll start a tank too. This one I'm going to use, if you put it in a tank, let it be in the tank for a while, and then put it in a new tank, there you go. It's a good way to go to get your biology going. But anyhow, one of the really good things for these is shrimp, because they won't, or baby fish if you're going to use those, because they don't get sucked into any kind of vent or anything, and they can also eat this stuff. In an aquarium shop, 90% of them, that's what they use, is foam filters. But the reason they do it is because if you have 100 tanks, you can't plug 100 different things in for filters. They can have one big air filter, run PVC pipe around and tie into it, and then just drop drops, and they have air to each one of these, and it's just a much neater way to go. Or, it's the way most of them do it. But they don't give you much in the way of circulation. So I use them as an add-on. I have 3 of them, big ones, out in my greenhouse where I have large aquariums that I use just for the add-on. Anyhow, I'm not using that these days. There are 2 other kinds that are most commonly used. One they call a hang-on back, and it literally just hangs on the back here. And it has a tube that comes down, and the water goes up in the tube. The best ones have the motor and stuff down below the water so they don't make noise. And it sucks water up, it goes through the filter, and then it flows back in, like a little waterfall kind of deal right here, usually in the middle or wherever you have it, but usually this direction because it's a hang-on back. They are effective. They can be noisy. You got to see it there. And it doesn't, the tube where the water comes in and the tube or the flow where the water goes out are basically in the same spot. So you don't get a real good circulation around the tank. That's the reason I don't use them in a planted tank. Let's go on to the next one. Then a lot of people have good luck with them. I'm not trying to badmouth them at all. The in-tank canister would be about this big, depending on how big, a canister filter that's in the tank. And it has some advantages. It doesn't leak anywhere because it's in the tank. It doesn't make any noise much because it's underwater. And you can aim it and get a flow you want the way you want it. So in those ways they work good. The problem with them is that when you get one big enough to do what you want to do, they take up quite a bit of space in your tank, and they're there. You can see them. And a lot of people don't like that. So anyhow, those are 3 ways that do work, and a lot of people have luck with them, and I have used them all with success. But what I use now, and what people who aquascape typically use, is canister filters. I'm going to open these up. These are Penn Flax. You'll notice this one is a lot bigger than the other. The one on the right is a 1200. It's even got the foot off it. And the one on the left is they're called Cascade 700, which I find to be a really nice one to use. So if I was buying one, they have different compartments for media in them. Huge ones, you might note. This one has 2, and this one actually has 4. But 2 is way more than enough for this tank. They have hoses coming out of them that go up above to the lily pipes, which I'll show you in a minute. One going out and one coming in. Anyhow, if I was going to buy one for tanks such as these, I would go with the Cascade 700. They're quite reasonably priced on sale. In fact, once in a while you can get a crazy cheap price. Anyhow, let's go up above. So those pipes, basically, they're coming up here, right here. This is 5/8 ID. Remember that. American. If you go into metric, it kind of varies. I give you 2 or 3 different ones, 17, 18, 19, something like that. But 5/8 ID, if you go to the store to buy tubing, is what you need. ID stands for inside diameter. These are 5/8 tubing. They make them, let me show you one. These are what they call lily pipes. This is a 1/2-inch lily pipe. That's the lily part. And this blows water out this way. That blows it so it gives a nice gentle flow. These are so delicate. You don't belong to the aquarium club until you've broken a couple of these. I don't know how many. I've broken 2, and that's it hurts when you do it, but it's kind of the game. Anyhow, I prefer the 5/8 much because they're way less delicate than the 1/2-inch. In fact, I'm going to put this back before I break it. Now, this particular set here, you got water coming in here, has a skimmer on it, which is a really important feature. See here? This takes just a little bit of water off the surface. If you don't have that, the top of your aquarium will get covered with scum. Somehow you need to deal with that on an open tank like this. So they have this little bobbin thing. You can see there's one that's out of it. Just goes up and down and the water goes over it. And I've just started using these, but geez, they work great. So if I was going to put one together, I would get a set of lily pipes with that. That's a kind of an added on deal. And there's the lily pipes. Now what happens here is the water comes in, it comes in a circle around here. And this is very important. And comes back. As you see this, you'd think these were in the wrong place because they're together, but it goes all the way around, and you'll watch carefully, you can see, and it comes back to here, and then it sucks out. So you have 100% circulation, which is what you want for a planted tank. So anyhow, I want to show you, that's about all there is to these. We can get into a little more detail later. Also, they're good if you come around here, right in this corner here, you can see I have an inline heater put in here. One on each, but you can see the tip of that one. So basically when it comes on, it heats the tank, and there's nothing in the tank to show. It works really good. One other thing I want to show, if you don't have one of these to skim for you, you need something such as this. This is a Vupa. It's a hideously expensive Japanese skimmer that is sort of a love-hate affair. I've got a couple of it. I run them, but they will keep, you notice the water is clear on top. That's what you need. There are other kinds of these you can use too, but anyhow, that's kind of all I really want to say today. So we've now gotten to where we have a tank and we have water in it. We got plants in it. We're circulating. Actually, before we put water, let's back up one more. The next one I really want to do, I'd like to go back a little bit and do one on aquascaping. I have another tank that's more or less aquascaped. What you would do before you would put water in. So we'll do that one next, and then we'll put water in them. You'll notice nowhere in this series have we mentioned fish, because that's at the end of the series. Don't even think fish yet. I want to show you something before we go. I got this new stepper here. This is so old tech. Now, mind you, I have an Apple Watch and an iPhone in my pocket, but this one, for some reason, I can make it go. If you're having trouble getting going this spring and you need to get up off the couch, get one of these. And first start around the house, and then go outside. You go to the mall, wherever. But if you start watching it, it'll make you go a lot more. I guarantee it. So get up, get one of these, and get going. It's springtime. We'll see you next time.